Every piece of advice you've ever been given about achieving a successful life is a comforting lie. Modern society is obsessed with preaching balance, moderation, and the illusion that you can conquer your greatest ambitions while keeping your weekends sacred and your routines comfortable. But let's look at the individuals who actually left a permanent dent in history. The innovators, the absolute masters of their craft, the ones who built empires from absolutely nothing. They were not well-balanced people. They were completely consumed. They possessed a singular, unyielding fixation that the rest of the world called madness. This video is a deliberate departure from mainstream, feel-good encouragement. It is a clinical dissection of a state of mind that most people are too fragile to even discuss. We are going to explore a psychological blueprint designed for the few who are tired of mediocrity. If you are ready to stop seeking permission, drop the need for a normal life, and unlock the terrifying power of absolute fixation. Welcome to the Obsession Protocol. The fallacy of the balanced life. The concept of a balanced life is a highly effective pacifier designed to keep people cooperative and predictable. It tells you to give a little bit of your energy to everything: your job, your social obligations, your entertainment, and your hobbies. But when you distribute your focus across 10 different areas, you ensure that you remain completely average in every single one of them. True excellence demands a total monopoly of your cognitive resources. The Obsession Protocol requires you to look at your primary objective and decide that it is the only thing that matters. It means accepting that your social life will flatline, your current entertainment habits will vanish, and the crowd will think you've lost your mind. When you stop trying to please everyone and allow yourself to become entirely consumed by a singular vision, your daily execution stops being a chore. It becomes an automatic, unstoppable instinct. Dismantling the need for external feedback. A massive trap that paralyzes human potential is the continuous dependency on outside validation. Most people cannot work in the dark. They need to post their progress, tell their friends about their plans, and receive applause before they've even produced a single result. This behavior completely drains your dopamine reserves, leaving you with no fuel for the actual execution. The moment you activate the Obsession Protocol, you become a ghost to the public. You don't announce your goals, and you certainly don't argue with critics. You realize that trying to explain your drive to an average mind is a complete waste of your valuable energy. The dark room becomes your sanctuary. You begin to crave the heavy silence of isolation, understanding that the absolute lack of distraction is the only environment where massive leverage can be built from scratch. Cultivating the internal machine. To survive the intensity of this psychological state, your daily routine must be executed with cold, mathematical precision. You no longer wait for motivation, and you no longer care how you feel when you wake up. Feelings are highly volatile liabilities that belong to your past, undisciplined self. Instead, you develop a clinical relationship with your daily output. The work is simply done. You focus entirely on mastering the micro details of your high-value skill, blocking out the background static of modern society. While the rest of the world is drowning in cheap dopamine, mindlessly scrolling through short-form videos, and chasing instant gratification, your mind is locked in a fortress of sustained attention. This level of focus makes you completely dangerous to your competition, because you are playing a game of stamina that an undisciplined mind cannot comprehend. The sovereignty of the single focus. When you give yourself permission to be completely obsessed, the internal friction that causes procrastination disappears. Procrastination only exists because your mind is constantly fighting between what it knows it should do and the 100 other cheap options available on your screen. By ruthlessly narrowing your world down to one singular mountain, you eliminate the paradox of choice. There is no fallback plan, no alternative route, and no second option. This absolute clarity gives you a level of confidence that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. You begin to view every failure not as an emotional crisis, but as a neutral piece of data that tells you how to refine your strategy. You move through the world with a quiet, undeniable authority, knowing that your foundation is built on real capability rather than superficial hype.